Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Jay back at it again with another video, and it's been a while since we have done a video on the E46. As you guys may know, it's been pretty much, I haven't touched the E46 in over a year now. It's just been in the driveway, and past weekend I was able to give it a bit of love and some time to work on it. It was having some issues with it not being able to start. This past weekend I was able to get it to start, sort of. I'll explain everything in a bit, but for now, let's cue the intro. So then, as you guys know, the E46 has been parked here for a while now. So this weekend I had attempted to turn on the car and see if it runs and all that. And as you guys might expect, the battery was dead. So I ended up buying a new battery. I have it disconnected right now. But I ended up buying a new battery and attempted to turn on the car. It didn't work. So they basically told me we had another issue. I had known for a while now that the fuel pump of the car was going bad, so I thought that because the car was parked for pretty much over a year, a pump may have just gone bad. I ended up buying a new fuel pump and we installed it right underneath there. After putting the pump, it still had the same issue, it wouldn't run. So I attempted to put in, I popped open the hood, opened up the intake, and sprayed quick start into it and started up. So after spraying the quick start into the intake and starting the car, it would run, but when we would stop using the quick start, then the engine would die, meaning that the car was still not getting any fuel. So after that, I was like, okay, it could be a fuel pump, it could be a fuel filter, it could be a fuse, it could be a relay. First thing, since we knew that for a while now that the pump was going bad, I assumed that the pump may have just gone bad because the car was sitting here for over a year, so I ordered a new pump. So my next step was to check the fuses, and the fuse for the fuel pump number 54, it's a 20 amp fuse, and I checked that, it's fine. So then I read online that there's another fuse I should check inside the engine bay, right inside here, inside the fuse box here. So I checked that and it was fine, so it wasn't that either. We've checked both fuses, we've swapped in a new fuel pump, and we changed the battery. So and I know it is an issue with the fuel. So the next options were either bad fuel. We did add in the gallons of fuel into it a couple of months ago when we were, last month when I was attempting to start it back then. The next options for me were, it was the fuel filter might need to be changed, or it's the relay. I didn't really want to order a new fuel filter just yet, just to put it in and see and have it not start yet. And the gas, I was pretty sure it should still run, it's not that old. I have the stuff out anyways right now, so let's try swapping out the relays. I looked online and the fuel pump relay and the relay for the horn are both the same type. So if I could just swap them over and see if it runs, it runs. If it doesn't, then I'll order a new fuel filter and go from there. So to get to the relay, this is the reason why I had this open. You have to, the relays, as you can see from here, are right over there. But to get to them, you have to remove the glove box, and the fuses just stay up there. How it is. So the main thing you have to do is remove the glove box completely to get access to them. They were a pain to get to, maybe because I have big hands. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's 6 over here, from what I can tell from this angle. Well, let's get there. In the top row, there's 4. There's 1 right there. There's another 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one is for the fuel pump, and the last one is for the horn. So I removed the one for the fuel pump, which is right here on the ground right here, that little thing, and I took the one from the horn and swapped it over. I reconnected the battery and started up the car, and lo and behold, it worked. that one relay is the issue, is the reason why the car wasn't getting any fuel. That's like a $15 part off of Amazon or on ECS tuning, and that's the issue that I had with the car not getting fuel. I had no issue with this before the car sat. My main concern was it should be the pump, because the pump was going bad before the car was even parked here. So we got the car to run. So at this point, I was very happy that the car started to run. I was about a couple hours into this on the weekend, and I got it to run. I was very happy because this car's been sitting here for over a year, and I had in my mind that if I got this car to run, I am prepared to dump a couple of grand into it to make it into a nice daily project. Like it is what it is. Like, I have parts for lying in the garage, but I didn't want to put them on until I could get the car to start. So I got the car to start, but there was an issue. So I let the car run for a bit, about an hour, 2 hours, because I want to burn off all the old gas beside the car for a bit, having my coffee and my bagel, and the car started to smoke. I say smoke, and you can see it here. What happened was, I guess the plastics in the engine bay, the hoses and the hoses and all that are so old that the coolant expansion tank cracked, and it started to like steam or smoke. It wasn't really smoke, it was just steam from the coolant coming out of the crack and just going everywhere. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see this on the camera. There's a crack in the coolant expansion tank reservoir, like right around here, and that's where the coolant came from. There's still some of the coolant down there too. So yeah, that's the next thing on the list to replace. So yeah guys, so with that being said, the car now runs. We've pretty much figured out what the issue was, why the car would crank but would not start. It was a fuel issue. So what's next for the E46 is that I need to place an order for a new reservoir tank, some relays, and some extra odds and ends here and there. The best thing to do would be to replace all of the old coolant lines and hoses and everything with the water pump and everything like that to make the car more reliable. But at this point right now, I'm doing this on a budget at the moment, so I'm just going to be doing the tank and the surrounding the hoses and a couple of these sensors. I do know that it also needs a thermostat as well, because I want to try and figure out if it was just that the plastic was old from the tank that caused a crack, or if there was any other issue. So I'm going to be getting new sensors, a new thermostat, and the reservoir tank, and just do a whole coolant flush. With that being said, that's going to be the end of this video, guys. And if this video did help you guys out, or if you just enjoyed it, consider hitting the like button down below and subscribing as well. It would really help me out a lot. I'm trying to make this YouTube channel grow and be a thing, and I can't really do that without your guys' support. I'm close to doing 100 uploads now on the channel, which is really amazing, and I'm going to be pumping out a lot more content now on the E46. E46 build is going to be starting soon. I'm really happy about that. I can actually pour some money into this now that I got rid of the Mustang. Again, with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.